and I like to show you an example of what we are doing, or an example of what I am trying to fight by teaching you this unit. Okay? All right. So let us begin with discussing 3 new pieces of vocabulary. I know you know these 3 words, but they have different meanings in math than you may be aware of. So, let us begin then, cabbages, with a set. A set is any group of data. Data is, I shouldn't use green because I've already used green, dummy head. Data is anything one can count. Okay? So, right now, look around this room and give me an example of a set of things that are in this room. Desks. Excellent. So, sets. Example, in this room, there are desks. That's a set. Yeah? Yeah. Give me another one. Kids. Give me another one. Pardon? Okay, the baseball's on my tie. Now, that's actually a good example because, of course, that is indeed countable, yes? So, therefore, it's a set. Now, let me ask you this. Is there a set of adults in this room? I'm asking you that. What do you think is the answer? Is there a set of adults in this room? That's hurtful. Of course it's yes. I'm right here in front of you. Of course I am. Am I a piece of data? Can you count me? I hope so. Oh. Okay, everybody cool? A single datum is still a set. Alright? Datum is the singular for data. One piece of information is a datum. More than one piece of information becomes data. See how much you learn in math class? Pardon me? That's why I had to ask if you think I count. I know. It's complicated.
Technically, you can get group of 1.
Sure I can.
I always answer the opposite of what it should be, because I know I'll probably say.
Everybody cool? All right. An element is a single piece of data. The proper word for that, as I just told you, is a datum. Elements make up sets. So, in this first set, which is the set of desks, how many elements make up that set? Desks. Yeah, which is, in this room, there's 30 student desks, my desk at the back, and this desk here, for a total of how many desks? Ooh. Ooh. So we can argue, regardless. What is it? It's the set is the desks. The elements are each single desk. I'm getting to that. Kids. What are the elements that make up the set of kids? All of you. Tiana's an element. Nick is an element. Okay? When all those elements are put together, it makes the set of kids. Everybody cool? So these kids, the elements are each of you. Baseball's on Myers' time. I'm not going to do that one. Duh. Right? Each baseball is one. Yes?
When you said that you are in the set,
I knew it started with an
how does that make sense? Because you said one of the set.
How many elements make up the set of adults in this room? One. What happens if Mr. DeVries walks in? How many elements are in that set? Two. What happens if Tiffany Rietzma walks in? That's not her last name. It is her last name. What happens if she walks in? And I use her because she sits in your desk in the other block. What would happen to the set of adults in the room if Tiffany walked in? Nothing. What would happen to the set of students in the room? The element would increase by one. Everybody cool? Yeah? Okay. And finally, a relation is any comparison of data between two sets. Okay? So, the first set was desks and students, yes? Do each of you relate to a single desk in the room? Yes. One desk, one kid. Everybody cool? Now, what happens in my other class, for some strange reason, half the year has been spent with 3 dudes sitting at the back 2 desks where Adrian and Haram are right now. So, how many elements from the first set, kids, relate to elements from the second set in my other block? There's 3 kids relating to 2 desks. Everybody with me? Yeah? Okay. Now, what is the set of ties in this room? 1. Can I relate that set to the set of baseballs on that tie? Yes. There is 1 tie, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 1 tie, 32 baseballs. Yeah. Let's not play lawyer ball, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. 1 tie, 32 baseballs, yes? What happens if somebody else walks in with a baseball tie? There will be 2 ties, and let's say his baseball tie only has 1 baseball on it. 2 ties, 33 baseballs. Everybody cool? Now, does that necessarily mean there are 16 and a half baseballs per tie? No. Everybody good? Everybody cool? All right. Now, I'm almost going to stop there because I want to show you some stuff. Relations, sets, elements, and relations are what make up statistics. And statistics are going to be thrown in your guys' faces your entire lives. You are going to make some very important decisions in your life based on statistics. And where you get those statistics is extremely important. You must, and this slides into planning, social studies. This is an important thing I am about to talk about. Statistics can be presented to you in such a way as to mislead you. One of the ways that is done is the way in which they are presented. The other way that can be done is comparing 2 different sets of things that have nothing in common in reality. But when they are presented to you, you might be fooled into believing that they are indeed related. All right? Does everybody understand what I'm saying? I'm going to give you an example of this right now. Okay? Wait 1 second whilst I get it on the screen for you. It will just take me a moment. Okay. Are we ready? I'm going to read you 2 sentences. You tell me if they consist of sets. The first sentence is this: U.S. spending on science, space, and technology. Is that a set? If I were to give you this data, the U.S., United States spending on science, space, and technology, is that something we could count? Yes, because they spent a certain amount on it over a certain amount of time. Agreed? Everyone cool with that? And that's a relation too, isn't it? Because one set is the amount of money they spent, and the second set are the years they spent it. Everyone agree? Okay. Now, if they spend more or less every year, if they raise their spending every year, and I were to put it on a graph, what would that graph look like? It would look like this, yes? Years would be there, money would be there, and it would go up, yes? Everyone agree? Okay. Now, what people who like to fool you with statistics will do is they will take another relation that has nothing to do with the spending on space, and they will put them both on a graph. Oops, I'll have to use a different color for this to work. That pink line is also rising, isn't it? And if you do not understand how statistics and things and functions and relations work, you might think that that pink line might have something to do with that green line, because they are both going up at the same rate. Yes? Okay. So now I am going to show you the second set that is on this graph. Suicides by hanging, strangulation, and suffocation. Look at, this is data. This is real truth. The red line is the U.S. spending. As the United States spend more and more on space, what happens to the suicides by hanging, strangulation, and suffocation? They go up. What would a stupid person think? That if we spend more on space, more people will kill themselves. It's proof. It's right there, isn't it? As we spend more people are killing themselves. Let's look at the next one. This is my favorite. The number of people who drowned falling in a pool. That's a thing we could count, isn't it? A bunch of people fell in their pools last year. They died. Last couple of years, Nicolas Cage has made films. What do you think happened? Oh my goodness. When Nicolas Cage makes his most movies, more people fall into their pools and die.
Because the movies are bad
No,
now.
Indigo. That's the whole point. It doesn't make sense. But the news media, politicians, all kinds of people will present you with statistics like this, and you might, if you didn't go through my class, you might be stupid enough to fall for this. And drown in your pool. Thank you, Anucha. Oh, yeah! It was like a firework. Everybody understand? And this happens all the time, right? Let me give you another example. Crime rates are rising. Maybe, but that's not it. I'm going to give you one that is more likely that you will hear. Crime rates are rising. Immigration rates are rising. Are they related?
No.
What would the news or people against immigration like you to think? That they are. Are they? No. Crime rates are rising. High school dropouts are rising. Does one have anything to do with the other? Can you prove it from this line? No. Would the news put a graph like that in front of you?
Yeah.
Would a politician who wants to be tough on crime put a graph like that in front of you?
Yeah.
Probably. Will you believe it? I hope not. I hope you will do a little bit of research and figure out for yourself how easy it is to make idiotic graphs that fool people. Ready for the next one? Per capita cheese consumption. That is how much cheese a human being in the United States eats a year. Everybody ready? That consumption of cheese relates with the number of people who died by becoming tangled in their bed sheets. Oh my good God.
800.
If I eat more cheese, more people will tangle themselves in their bed sheets and die.
That's in America.
We had better cut back on our cheese consumption, or we had better cut back on bed sheets. Because look at all these needless deaths due to extraordinary cheese consumption. Guys, again, see, you're missing the whole point. I know it's interesting. I like these. These are a lot of fun. Who cares? From a math perspective, what is happening here is you are relating two sets of data that have nothing to do with each other. And you are manipulating that data in such a way that a moron might be fooled. Let's check another one. I like these, and we're almost out of time, so we're going to do this a little longer. Uh-oh. What do you think will happen to the divorce rate, married people in Maine, if we increase our consumption of margarine? Now, let me change this a little bit for you. Margarine, in my mind, is evil. We shouldn't be eating it because it's not food. It's oil whipped with dyes, coloring, and air. And you are paying through the nose for it. It's not food. Now, wait, I'm not done. My turn. I am a politician, a right-wing politician, and I only care about family values. When you get married, you're married for life. No divorces.
Or just not get married.
So, we had better do what? We had better lower our consumption of margarine because that will lower the divorce rate.
Oh, that's not
Okay,
bad.
so I think I know how that might relate.
Oh, really? Okay. I am very interested to hear this.
Okay, so doesn't margarine make you fat so then you become obese over time? And then when you become obese, your partner's gonna be like, yo, you're ugly, I don't want you.
But wouldn't your partner also be eating margarine?
No, but then they'll be like, no, I'm on a diet because, I want to maintain myself. So the other one becomes obese. And then the other one's normal. And he's like, I just feel or if you just eat so much more, divorce happens. Or maybe they both get obese and they're like, we need to they can't share a bed. That's how
They've already bought the California King, right, Mercy? What are you supposed to do? The whole room's bed already.
No, yeah, so then they get a divorce, so they'll marry a skinnier person, next time. And
So the skinnier person will what? Help them control how much food they're shoveling down their throat?
Mr. Myers, I have the answer.
Oh, do you?
Alright, so basically, you send your wife grocery shopping, and she comes
Why is it the wife that's got to go grocery shopping?
with the dog too.
Your dog's going to grocery shop? Dogs can't go into stores.
Listen, right? You send somebody out.
You send somebody.
Yeah.
You send the hired help?
You send your
Are they
husband
immigrants?
grocery shopping, right? He comes back with margarine instead of butter, and you just send his whack ass out the door.
Okay. Look at the next one. The age of Miss America correlated with murders by steam, hot vapors, and hot objects. If Miss America is old, what do you think will happen to the murders? They are increased? Let's find out. Oh! The older Miss America gets, the more people are murdered with hot steam, vapors, and hot objects. In 2005, 8 people were killed because Miss America was too old. Where's the next one? Everybody ready for the next one? Now this one is tricky. Total revenue generated by arcades correlates with computer science doctorates awarded in the U.S. This one almost makes sense, doesn't it? Because who makes an arcade game? A computer scientist. So if there's more computer scientists, doesn't it make sense that there might be more money in arcades? There is! Of course, that's horse crap. Because there ain't no computer science doctorate who's building Donkey Kong. The computer science doctorate is finding out a way to get us to Pluto. Here's the next one. Now, this one. Worldwide non-commercial space launches. So we're sending satellites and stuff into space for exploration. Compares with sociology doctorates. Almost exactly the same line. Less sociology doctorates, less space exploration. We better get rid of sociology at universities. Per person consumption of mozzarella cheese and engineering doctorates. If we eat more cheese, will smart people become engineers? Let's find out. Oh yeah! If we fill our face with more cheese, we'll have more smart engineers saving the world.
Cheese motivates someone to work.
That's the whole point, Micah. Now, I would like to go to one where one of your peers argued it. I won't say who it was. Oh, I like this one. If you drown falling out of your fishing boat, the marriage rate in Kentucky goes down. Well, Kentucky has no water. It's in the middle of the country. Okay, this is the one. One of your peers, and I won't say who, tried to actually prove this one. As the United States import more oil from Norway, more drivers get killed in collisions with trains. Well, let's see. It is. The more oil they brought in, the more people died crashing into trains. That's what he said. If we have more oil, we must have more trains to move it around. Therefore, of course it makes no sense. But that is one that a politician might be able to say, well, we better not transfer our oil by trains, we better use pipelines. You're all done. I will see you Monday.